Ekas ano support? Nee, terug. So dit is hoekom jy nie was skool toe gaan nie.
Maar met dan was nie boekos te kan sa.
Het ek gistermiddag gesien, ek kan ons my gistermiddag gewys het, ek moes gistermiddag klaar hê gemaak.
Nie papa vir oggend, nou mamma nou sê ek by huis bly om te stoei. Wat aantal van die skoolboeke koop.
Okay. As die moment jy 'n skoolboek kry, dan moet dit verouderd raak. Vroeger skool begin het, toe sê ek, gee boek. Dan ek het na 4 uur toe vat, dat sy dit reg kan maak. Toe sit nie, my boek is reg. Waar is dat nie? Wie vir jou volgens die skool nie? Ek het daar amper getrap gestaan. Ek soek by skole. Ek moes hy hele sak uitgegooi want die hele heel onder die skoene wat ek dra. Al die stukke in 'n kak lê bo.
Apa anya terapa. Jadi kena siap atur pana.
Die wil gat in kap as 'n mens met dat praat. Hy sê nou weer.
Ja, ook at aan ook. En hy gaan, dat is wel weer. Ja. Ja. You go with the stuff and that. Então, era stuff and that. Mas não fez ideal que dá nessa.
Emote 1730753 emoji angry.
Help me! Stop that! Okay, behind the police! Yeah,
www in the chat. Stream Elements bot running. Learn how to customize the bot here. At Stream Elements - come on bruh, stop posting links warning.
For the next 30 days, I'm going to be trying to grow as much as possible on Twitch. My dream for years has been to become a full-time streamer. And in this video, I recorded my first month of me going live on Twitch, and the progress is absolutely insane. In this video, I start with absolutely 0 followers on Twitch, less than 100 followers on TikTok, and I will be taking you guys through my growth. I'm not going to give too much away, but I learn a whole lot throughout the video, and by the end of this video, I am on track to become a quote-unquote full-time streamer within 2 to 3 months. Now, when I say full-time streamer, I am referring to the number that major streamers, Agent 00, Ludwig, some of the biggest streamers, they say
50 is the minimum viewers if you want to do it full time. You just have to optimize the 50.
we're just going to be using that as a metric as quote-unquote full-time. Now, I want to take you guys through my complete Twitch journey. So time span of this video is actually going to be more than 1 month, because when I say 1 month, I mean 1 month of actual streaming. Now, for the first 1 to 2 weeks, I wasn't streaming. I have to set up my stream. And in order to set up my stream, I did things like do research. I talked to another growing small streamer and set up all of my scenes so that I am prepared to go and start streaming. For multiple hours, my goal was just to be able to know what looks good. At the end of the day, even if you're not pulling ginormous numbers, if you look professional, that is the first step. So I scrolled through Twitch, looking at some of my favorite streamers like Cinna, Agent, Queso, Ludwig, Kai Cenat, Stable Ronaldo, Tim the Tapman, and even some smaller streamers, really focusing on how they just set up their scenes. Now, one thing that I did that is very important that I think that you guys need to do is to not just look at those big streamers, but to look at other growing small streamers. And when I say small streamers, I don't mean people that are averaging 5 viewers. I mean people that are averaging, 20, 30, 40, even 50 viewers. The reason being is because they are growing and they are still trying to grow. A lot of these big streamers, at the end of the day, they could put on whatever the fuck they want to put on the screen and they will still have a high number of viewers. But a lot of these small viewers, they are maximizing every little detail to try to get as many people into their streams as possible because they are trying to make it to where those big streamers are. So once I did my research, once I compared some big streamers and small streamers streams, I had a general idea of what I wanted my stream layout to look like. And that is when we start setting our stream stream up. The first thing we do is the gameplay scene because I think that is going to be the most difficult scene to set up. I don't want my face cam to just be the basic rectangle shape, so we made it a little bit shorter on the sides and rounded off the corners. Next thing I added was a little text pop-up that showed the latest follower. Now this is something that at the end of the different formats that I saw, but the one that I really wanted to run with and the one that I thought looked the best was Ludwig's. I didn't copy it exactly, but the general idea is to have my Twitch chat right under my face cam and to have a slightly transparent gray background so that people could read my Twitch chat with gameplay going on in the background. At this point, this is where I decided to downloaded a seamless loop. Just look up any seamless loop. I picked this Pikachu running, and it will go on forever as long as, you know, I don't change scenes because it is, like I said, it's a seamless loop. And then I added the text on the top right that says starting soon. That is my starting soon page. And then my ending screen is the exact same thing. However, what I did there for that one is I took that loop and I actually edited it and I put music on top of it. I'm actually just going to show you. I'm going to literally perform live what my ending is. So whenever I click on my ending, this is what it's going to look like. Okay. Now you guys probably hear music now. I don't hear music, but the reason you guys do is because I was doing research and I was looking at other smaller streamers. I stumbled across one small streamer that goes by the name of Maze Mirror. She was nice enough to agree to join a Discord voice chat just so I can ask her some questions. And this was almost more valuable to me than speaking to a really big streamer. Shout out to Maze Mirror. Unfortunately, her audio didn't capture in this video, so you can't really hear the full conversation, which is really awkward. But on the screen here, you guys see me speaking in Discord. I put out my notepad and I wrote down some of the major questions that I had about streaming and growing in general. I asked key things like, do you actually see any effect from posting on TikTok when it comes to like converting them to your Twitch? I asked how she gets connected with other streamers, if there was one moment or one thing that she noticed that she did that really started blowing up her growth, or where she really noticed her big growth happening. And most importantly, we talked about games, and this is when I started to think what game I wanted to play. And this is something that you guys should also probably really focus on as well. At the end of this conversation, I pretty much know what game I wanted to start streaming, which is the next step in our journey, actually knowing what kind of content you're going to be streaming. And I decided I am going to be streaming Elden Ring for a couple reasons. One, Elden Ring is still a very famous, a very known game, but it is not as popular when it comes to streamers as it used to be. This is a win-win. Reason number one, since it's not as popular on Twitch to stream, so it is a lot easier for me to get pushed. It is a masterpiece of a game. So these are the major reasons that I chose to play Elden Ring. So now at this point, I feel like I am for the most part ready and have what I need to start streaming on Twitch. So one day I actually do just stream. I stream for like literally 5 minutes just to make sure that I can go live. When I am ready to actually go live for the first time officially, I don't want there to be any problems. There are going to donate. It gives some kind of incentive and it gives some kind of reward, if you want to say that, to those people that do that and their name pops up on the stream. So after setting up our notifications, we only have one more thing to do before it's officially time for us to stream. And that one thing is a very key thing, which is dual streaming on Twitch and TikTok. This is something that I decided to do very late into my decision making. But I noticed that big streamers, even today, like Jinxie streams on TikTok still. Queso, I don't know if he streams on TikTok still, but he used to stream on TikTok when he had thousands and thousands of people still on Twitch. And these people, one, do the type of content that I want to do, which is very important, and two, talk a lot about how TikTok and posting on social media and being on other platforms is very important. So in my head, why would I stop at just posting short form content on TikTok? Why don't I just live stream on TikTok as well? And that is when we set up something called multi-stream on OBS. As you see in this clip, I'm messing around with OBS, and on the left side, there is an actual vertical version of my setup. So after setting up everything I need, I am officially ready to just press the start streaming button. And I actually documented live my first moments of when I'm about to press stream for the very first time. And here it is, man. All right, so I am about an hour, less than an hour away from going live right now. for the very first time, and I am terrified. I am like unreasonably scared, and I think it's for a couple of reasons. One, streaming has been my dream for a long time. I started YouTube over a year ago because I wanted to set up for streaming. I love YouTube and I love content creation, but my goal and my dream has always been streaming for years now. And so now that I'm actually about to go press the go live button, I am really scared. And I'm not scared to perform in front of people. Like, I'm not scared that there's going to be viewers. I'm scared that there's not going to be viewers. And I know there's not going to be viewers in the first couple streams at least. But I think the biggest fear I have is that I will get discouraged to a point where my performance is going to be it's just like not me, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like boring. I'm not energetic. And I look, because I scroll through Twitch and I see this a lot of small streamers where their face is like this and they're playing the game. They look depressed as fuck. I'm like, what am I looking at? And I'm scared that's gonna happen. Just in case, I made a couple sticky notes, okay, for a couple things. This one is gonna stay up for a while. This is like general reminders, okay? Have high energy, engage with chat, animated face. That's the one I was talking about, where people look depressed, and have fun. Because I think like the biggest thing, if you just have fun, your chat will recognize that you're having fun, and then they'll have fun. And just, yeah, fingers crossed. We'll see. But yeah, I'm gonna get ready. Let's just do this. All right, so that was what was going through my head, and what I have here pulled up is actually my analytics for my very first stream on Twitch Tracker. So as you guys see, my very first stream was July 12th, 2025. Now, the reason it says I streamed for 40 minutes is, one, because Twitch Tracker is connected to Twitch, but it's not exact, so the numbers are an estimate. Viewers are pretty accurate. The time can be a little off, but that's one. And reason number two, this is the amount of time on technically July 12th, but I streamed past midnight, and a lot of my stream on this day was actually past midnight. So you will see that on the next day, if I went over to my next day, that a lot of my hours is actually going to be on July 13th. But this is my first stream, right? And I averaged 6 people, and I peaked at 6 people. And I will tell you right now, 1 was my sister, 1 was my dad, 1 was my best friend. And so I had about 3 people that were probably people that I didn't, quote unquote, didn't personally know. Now, even on top of that, I think maybe one of those was my best friend's brother, and another one of those people was one of my viewers that I had from YouTube before I started Twitch, that has then kind of converted to kind of being an assistant, or not an assistant, he's a friend of mine, but he's helped me a lot. So he helps me with Discord and things like that. And so, to be honest, pretty much 100% of the viewers are people that I know, or connected to people that I know. So please, if you are, discouraged, do not be discouraged, dude. Okay, this is gonna be very normal, these numbers. And so from this point on, the video is actually going to be like live recaps for you guys. Every single week at the end of the week, I sat down in front of the camera, I talked to you guys, tell you guys what's working, what's not working, what I'm changing, what my average viewers was, how the growth, how I'm not. And so really, you guys can really say that you're watching my growth live from this point on. All right, hello. I just want to give you guys a quick update. So it has been exactly yesterday was exactly 1 week since we started streaming. And I just wanted to give you guys an update, what's been working, what hasn't been working, so that you guys can also kind of implement this if you wanted to. So first of all, I have been noticing some decent, consistent growth. Now, when I say decent, I don't like nothing crazy, right? But I'm just happy to gain followers every day. So every day that I go live, I average between 3 and 5 followers gained, which I'm very happy with that. We started obviously with 0 followers. I think technically we had 2 followers, a couple of my friends maybe. And today, right now, we're sitting at 26 followers. So we are 1 follower over halfway to affiliate. So you need 50 followers to become a Twitch affiliate, which unlocks different things. That's like kind of when you can become a real streamer, you can do polls, you can do things like that. Things that I've noticed have been working, and things that I noticed that have not been working. There's a very big one in here for you guys if you guys are trying to become streamers. So things that aren't working for me right now, let's start with that. So first of all, I haven't been seeing a whole bunch of people going from my shorts over to my Twitch, and some of my shorts are getting pretty decent 1,000 views. Actually, let me pull it up real quick. So some of them obviously flop, right? But not including the pinned ones, I have multiple that have hit 1,000 and in like the 2000s. So since I've been streaming, I've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we'll count this, 6, 7 shorts that hit around 1,000 views, right? Which isn't insane, but if you actually like counted all the views with just those, they're probably pretty close to 10,000 views. And I've gained a lot of followers on TikTok. I think I started with like 90 something, so I've gained like 70 something followers on TikTok, but I haven't really noticed any kind of conversion from TikTok to Twitch. And I think a lot of that is because you can't link your Twitch directly in your account. I can only really tag what my username is. Now, where I have been seeing some conversion and what I highly recommend people do is to multi-stream on whatever platform you're doing, so whether it's YouTube or Twitch or something, and TikTok. Yesterday, at the 1 week mark, was a really big milestone for me because yesterday I peaked at a concurrent viewer count of 101 people on my TikTok. And this is really probably like the third day I've been actually going live on TikTok. The day before that, I peaked at 20. And every single time I go live, I get a handful of people to go from my TikTok live over to my Twitch. So I highly recommend you guys do this, okay? Highly recommend. And what I think I'm gonna start doing that I haven't been doing is I'll maybe start going live on TikTok for just the first 2 or 3 hours. And then the last 1 or 2 hours, I'm going to end it on TikTok and continue to go live on Twitch so that hopefully those people on TikTok will want to continue watching and go over to Twitch to finish what they started kind of. So hopefully that kind of funnels a little bit more people. Now, originally the plan was to stream every single day, but I think it's very, very important that you actually make content with your live streams. You don't just stream. Like, yes, I did say that I'm not getting a huge amount of people over. I do have some people come over for my shorts from YouTube. Sure, I post the same shorts on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. Instagram really does nothing. My Instagram account is actually disgusting. But what is very important to me and what I'm actually starting today, because I just beat Elden Ring on my stream yesterday, is I'm going to be making a long form video for YouTube. And this is something that, fingers crossed, and I think will happen. I will get the highest conversion rate on long form videos because that is usually how it works in general across the board. You have a bigger conversion rate when it comes to subscribers, likes, comments, all of that when it comes to long form videos. So I'm hoping I can also get a higher conversion rate from my long form YouTube videos of people to go over to my Twitch. So that's the plan. That's what I'm editing today. I just wanted to give you guys a quick update. Obviously, we started at 0 followers, and today, about 1 week later, we are at 26 followers on Twitch. Hello again for the next weekly update. So yesterday was the official mark of the second week. So today, tonight's stream will be day number 15 of 30 of us streaming. Now, there's a couple things that I wanted to add. First of all, like I said in the last update, when I recently started doing TikTok, I wanted to more consistently do TikTok live streams. That's exactly what I did this week, and the numbers showed, man. I'm gonna show you guys here in a minute. So if you look at the TikTok, last time I showed you guys, I was at a amount of followers, like a solid amount. So this is pretty much from the live streams, I'm gonna be honest. And not only that, I feel like I'm getting like an actual community. So like we have some ongoing jokes, right? So like my chat calls me Unc, and I always make sure to give him a reaction. You know, I yell, I'm not your uncle or whatever, you know? And so like if I just go to a random video, you can see post Radagon now, Unc. Unc, if you dodge, it makes you resistant to damage. So like the kind of relationship I have with my community is they kind of troll me a little bit. And so like it's really cool seeing a community form, not just on my streams, but also on my shorts. That's one. Two, like I said earlier, what I was going to do was I was going to only stream for the first maybe 2 hours, 3 hours, and then